Okay, hi everyone. I am so excited that you're here. This planner has been, as you've probably read my little story, it has been a work of love. It actually came about because, as many of you know, I am all about planning my life. I have major goals, and I know that if I don't sit down and plan it out, it's just not going to happen. And more importantly, at the end of the day, I started realizing that I was finishing the day feeling so overwhelmed and disappointed at the same time because I wasn't getting through my very long to-do list, and all I was doing was adding more things, and it just seems to get longer and not shorter. And so I wanted an opportunity to, how was I going to run my business and really manage my family? Most importantly, how to make my family feel that they're important too. And the only way to do that is you plan for things that are important for you to you. So that's really where this planner came about. Specifically for network marketers, I wanted a place where I was not keeping 100 sheets. And even with this planner, I find that there's sometimes I want a little something. So trust me when I tell you I'm already working on add-ons that will be available very soon. First and foremost, I wanted to talk to you about getting started. I did not spend a whole lot of time on the personal development side, or I really wanted something that I didn't feel that you had to do a lot of homework for. That being said, it is so important to get started with goals in mind. Just like any New Year's, I don't care if you're starting this in January or June. Stop for just a minute and go through it's just a couple of pages, setting some goals and, having a really big picture, having what is your vision in life, and then setting those in specific goals on how you can make that vision a reality. And that goes from, okay, these are maybe goals I have for the next 6 months or the next year. And in order for me to reach those goals, how can you go ahead and reverse engineer it? So what would my day look like, a typical routine look like, so that I can month by month work towards those goals? So that's why I really feel the first few pages are hugely important. Try not to skip them. But in the event that maybe you already did this somewhere else, maybe you've already done, for example, I did Power of Momentum with Tony Robbins. Love it. I don't necessarily have to do it again in my notebook. So that's totally okay. You can jump right in. I'm going to just use January as a starting point because, well, we're in the month of January, so why not, right? So first things first, when I designed the month, I wanted to make sure that for those of you that are fitness coaches, you're able to go ahead and design not only what's going on in inviting people to your business opportunity, but what kind of fitness group are you running? Many of us coaches love to have different themes every month. So I wanted you to already start doing this. I usually work a month in advance. So for example, I already know it's January right now. I already know what I'm doing in February for several reasons. One, I want to make sure that I have certain images done. I have a personal assistant. So, anything I need to put together for those groups are done ahead of time. I'm also already inviting to those groups. So I want to make sure that that's completely planned out. And this month planner is the perfect opportunity, the perfect spot for that. I love to, you guys know, I mentioned in my story, I love everything stickers and color pens. You can do that, or you can totally just use pencil or pen. I always love to use pencil with my planners because, of course, things change and I can erase real quick. But I do write, for example, anything having to do with a business opportunity presentation, I do that in one color. Anything I want to do, groups specifically, challenge groups, I'll do that in a different color. Anything personal or travel, that's also in a completely different color. So I wanted you to have an opportunity to go ahead and plan the month in advance. And then, of course, I'm going to skip the yes list for just a minute. I'm going to go straight into what your a day would look like. I wanted to make sure that you, I do it on Sundays, and you guys are welcome to join me on Sundays. That's what this link is for. But on Sundays, I force myself to wake up just a little bit earlier and look ahead. Look at what I planned for the month in my monthly calendar, and then also look ahead. And first things first, I whip out my phone. Anytime my kids tell me they have something, anything my husband on events that we have to go to, I usually put it in my phone. But then every Sunday, I put it in my planner, and I'll tell you why. On Sundays, I go ahead and put those things in first. Family, of course, is first. I put that in there. If I know, on the month I had said that I was going to do a coach, opportunity call, or a business opportunity call, or any event, a Super Saturday for us Beachbody coaches. If you're in another network company, if you have an event, go ahead and plug it in for that week, specifically blocking out the hours for that particular event. Once you've done that, perhaps things like you're going to block off your workout time. You're going to block off if you're going to work. If you're at work, do you use your lunch hour to do specific business activities? Make sure you put that in there. Every single day, I find it so important when that day comes that you go ahead and tell yourself, out of your list that you want to get done for the week, right? Because guys, let's be honest, our to-do list, it could take months to get through. So pick a few that you're going to attack for the week. You can break it down between business things to do and personal things to do. And then anything other, like, I don't know, maybe travel, although I guess that does fall into personal. That's where you run in your to-do list for the week. Every day, I want you to pick 3. Those top 3 things, that's what you're going to put on the top. And those are separate from your ordinary day-to-day things. My working out, that is definitely a priority, but I've already blocked that out. I do it the same day, same time every single day. I actually, you probably can't see this, but I block it off using a very light gray. I go to mass every day at 7 o'clock. That's my purple. I send invites every day. That's my orange. So there's certain things I do every day. Those are not my top 3. My top 3 are, for example, I need to get something done that day for sure. I need to submit an application for something. That's on the top 3 things I have to do that day. I need to go pick something up for one of my kids. That goes in there. So I have to put together a menu for the cleanse I'm doing. Okay, that's going to go in the top 3 of that day. Once I've worked out my day, any appointments I have, my routine, then I'm going to plug in out of those top 3 things. I will give everything a full hour. I don't care if it's an application that may take me 15 minutes. I'm going to give myself an hour because I know what happens throughout my day. I take a little longer for lunch, or somebody calls me right when I go to sit down and do the application. So I give myself a full hour. If it's something that's going to take me a little longer than an hour, I'm going to give myself 2 hours. I want to make sure that at the end of the day, I'm realistic, and that at the end of the day, I'm like, what a great day. Not only did I get through my 3 to-do things for that day, I've knocked off a couple more things in that day. And most importantly, I want to make sure that I stop what I'm doing business-wise so that I have really good uninterrupted time without business, without my phone, for my family. That I have time. Believe it or not, I even put in here when I eat, when I shower, because I want to make sure, it's not because I'm planning for it. It doesn't mean that I have to have my shower at that time, but I want to make sure that I have time for everything that's important in my life. And my business is important, not more important than my family, not more important than my faith, but I want to make sure that I place priority in the things that are important to me. And yes, as much as everybody says balance is bullshit, I call bullshit on that. I really feel that we can do so much. So I hope this is helpful. I hope I'm able to help you deconstruct. Last but not least, for my network marketers, this is a hugely important section of our planner, and it's our yes lists. Yes lists. Woo, try to say that a few times. So for fitness people, we have yes to any challenges that they may have said yes, and I'll go a little more deeply into that, and yes to the coaching opportunity. For any other network marketers that have just a general business one, who has said yes to send them information about products, and who has said yes about the business opportunity. I really wanted a particular spot, one spot where I can just write a nice long list of anyone that said, sure, yes, send me some information. Not yes, I'm ready to sign up. I will go ahead and mark those people that are ready to sign up. Just anyone that is open to the opportunity to send some information, whether that's for a product, whether that's to join my challenge group, whether that's to join my business opportunity, and send them information about that. Not necessarily, yes, go ahead and send the product or sign me up or anything like that. Just, yes, I'm open to more information. That's really what those yes lists are. So I hope that answers your questions regarding that. Of course, on my yes list, you can do color coded or not. Come up with some sort of system that works for you. If you sent them a video, put a little V. If they are ready, maybe you want to highlight them or circle them. Like, you can come up with your own system. I gave you an idea on the planner of what to do, but you don't have to stick to that. You can come up with your own, system that works for you. An additional thing that you can purchase, but many have received as you were part of the early release, is you got your little networking power hour type, checklist. And by that, I mean, what do you need as a network marketer? There's certain things we need to do on social media, as well as, with our clients or potential clients on a daily basis. So I wanted somewhere where, and it's the same thing that we have to do day in, day out. I wanted somewhere that you can get a dry erase marker and check mark. If you really want to go all out, if you have a thin enough, I actually write the number, for example, how many new followers I want to make sure, like a goal. I go ahead and write that number here. And once I've done that, I've provided a little checklist for you. Also, something that I am, a little add-on that I'm going to be working on that I'll be sharing with you all, is I'm going to have a little social media similar to this. You can actually do it on the back of this, where you've written down, okay, what are those 10 things you want to talk about specifically? For example, if you're doing Instagram stories, what are 10 things that you want to talk about that day on your Instagram stories that you can quickly check mark? Also, you can go ahead and plan your posts. You'll also notice that in the weekly, that's what I mean by topic right here at the bottom of the weekly. You can do your topic, your story, and picture. Almost forgot to mention that. Topic. I don't just talk about fitness and nutrition. I am a fitness and nutrition coach, but that is not all I talk about. I talk about things that interest me. I talk about things that, how can I add value to everybody else's life aside from fitness and nutrition. So I will talk about, yes, healthy meals, but I will also talk about things going on in my family as a mom. Advice. I've been married over 25 years, and with the divorce rate slowly but surely rising, I feel like, well, I've picked up a few things. I'm actually happily married over 25 years. So maybe anything my husband and I have picked up, I can share on social media. So that's what I mean by type. I will talk about, am I going to talk about fitness? Am I going to talk about being a mom? Am I going to talk about, being a wife? What are those topics for you? Spread them out for the week for your post. Story, what I mean by story is, well, what story am I going to tell, or what is my point that I'm going to make within that post? I'm not writing out my entire post in this small little box. I just want to remind myself when I sit down to write that post, okay, what about being a wife, or what about being a mom? What is there a particular story I'm going to tell? And so that's what I mean by story. And then picture, of course, do I need to take a picture? What picture am I going to use that's going to be for that post? So as you can see, I've really done my best to like encompass everything you can possibly think of as a network marketer. And hopefully this is something that you can use that where you're going to have everything at all at once, a one-stop shop, not have a bunch of lists together, maybe a few stick-it notes if you want to add to it. Always, always, please, if there's any questions, if you have any comments or any suggestions, by all means, I'm going to be uploading this in YouTube. I love to hear it. I love if you want to see more of something or something you want me to create. I'm always thinking of greater ways to organize my life. And I'll always share that with you. So please, by all means, love your feedback. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this session. And I can't wait to hear from all of you. Have a good one.